It's another 2018 NASCAR Season Race review. This time it's the Auto Club 400. It's coming at you right now. Hi everybody, it's Brandon. Thanks so much again for stopping by for another video. If this is your first time here and you'd like to get more involved with any and all things NASCAR, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any further episodes. So the Auto Club 400 is in the books. It's definitely time to talk about it. But before I have my say, I'm curious, what were some things that you had seen in that race that you were happy about, things that you weren't happy about? Please let me go ahead and know down in the comment section below. So Auto Club definitely had some surprises for me. We're just going to go ahead and go through those quickly here. First of all, let's address things as they happened during the weekend. So let's start at Friday. And at the time, I had uploaded my race preview for the weekend. And there'll be a card up in the corner where you can check that out if you hadn't already done so. And I was unaware that this had happened or was even remotely going to happen. But 13 or so cards did not make an attempt to qualify. Most of them had not passed pre-qualifying inspection. With that being said, I think there's some major problems here, and then I do think that NASCAR did make some right calls regarding this. So the optical scanning station was supposed to help prevent these issues. Now that we're getting to more aero-dependent racetracks, I still feel that race teams are trying to circumvent the procedures that NASCAR has in place. Not that I blame any of them, that's what they're paid to do, and that's, in my opinion, what their job is. You're not winning races if you're not doing something that the competition isn't. However, at Auto Club, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. Those drivers that did not qualify originally were going to start on tires that were much fresher than the 24 cars that at least had advanced to round 2, and then they're definitely gonna start on fresher tires than those that went to rounds 2 and 3. Big difference, especially when you look at tire fall off. We were seeing 3 seconds or so difference from fresh tires to tires that had some heat cycles in them. So the big question was, what was there to be done about it? NASCAR made the right call, in my opinion, as far as how to fix it. And what they did was they allowed teams to go in, buy a new set of tires, turn their old set of tires in, everybody started on sticker tires. Quite honestly, I think that's how every race should be. I think that Kevin Harvick had an interview with Boxx and said it the best, that the tires that you qualify on need to be used during practice, and then every race team starts on a set of fresher, everybody starts on sticker tires. Good call by NASCAR. And I also like what they've been talking about and tossing around as far as how to streamline this and to get a rule put in place. One of the things that they had done during the Xfinity race was if you failed pre-qualifying inspection, you would have to serve a pass-through penalty, and there's talk that that may be the norm if you can't pass pre-qualifying inspection. Looking ahead to Martinsville, that would be a big deal. You would be looking at starting the race 2 or 3 laps down. Let's talk about the biggest surprise I think that happened of the entire race, and it happened early on. It happened within the first 25 laps of the race. Kevin Harvick having some contact with the 42 car. Why is that important? Well, anybody that's been following NASCAR this year would know that Kevin Harvick was working at going for 4 races consecutively in a row, and that has not been done in quite some time. Jimmie Johnson's the last driver to have done that, and it did not happen this weekend. Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick were running each other really hard towards the end of the stage. They were driving each other down into each corner really, really hard. Kevin Harvick actually got loose coming out of turn 4, and I don't know if it was attempted side draft gone wrong or if it was Kevin Harvick trying to show his displeasure, but when he made contact with the 42, it sent his car right into the outside retaining wall and ultimately ruined his chance for a win. Now, what I will say is that his team did a phenomenal job to repair the car and at least get him out there in a position where he still finished the race. Now, there weren't a whole lot of cars that were out this weekend, so he didn't gain a whole lot of positions, but every point matters. And he took full responsibility for the issue and for the contact. So overall, very sad to see that they didn't win 4 in a row, but I do think that he put himself in a position to have that contact, have that wreck, and I just think it was way too early to have something like that happen. And for anybody that hasn't seen the contact, I'm going to throw up a card to a video on Fox's YouTube channel where you can see the live race coverage of that. And that way you can see for yourself, was it accidental contact or was it intentional? Hendrick Motorsports. Definitely saw some improvements with Hendrick Motorsports this weekend. Jimmie Johnson finished 9th, which has been his best finish in the last 11 races. So definitely good to see that happen for the 48 team. William Byron and Darian Grubb made a gutsy call to get out front, lead the race for a little while. Now ultimately their finish and where they were before the pit call really didn't change. So I still think it was a great call. If they would have gotten a quick caution 3 or 4 laps into it, I believe William Byron would have had a much better finish than what he had. But still, overall, a great day for that team. Alex Bowman drove up through the field. I don't think they got the finish that they wanted to, but it still was pretty decent. Chase Elliott, really, he was the surprise of Hendrick Motorsports this weekend. I thought based on practice speeds that they would run a lot better than they did. It seemed like when watching Chase, he could get to somebody, but he was not able to pass them. So Hendrick Motorsports has a lot to do yet, a lot of work to go, but it does look like they're overall getting a little stronger each week. And at this point, we just hope that they continue to increase and not backslide any further. A couple of other guys that had great runs this weekend. Ryan Blaney, after tagging the wall, had a really good finish. They fought after it all day. Penske had a good finish. Eric Almirola was running good again. So the Fords are still continuing their strong runs and saying, we're here, we can compete this year. Martin Truex showed this weekend that they have not lost their touch. They've not lost a step. Did the trifecta for the weekend again as far as winning all 3 stages. So great bonus points day, great points day, and once he took the lead, even if Kevin Harvick wouldn't have had the contact that he did with Kyle Larson towards the end of the race with the lap times he was putting down, I don't think the Ford team would have had anything for him. I think that this just goes to show that they needed a little time to get rolling this year, but now that they have, I'm really curious to see, can another team step up and stop the 78 car from scoring bonus points, scoring stage wins, and building that cushion going into the playoffs this year. Kyle Busch, another big surprise for me this weekend. And not so much with the run that they had. They had another good, strong run. They had an issue on pit road towards the end of the race. And yeah, it did probably cost them the race, let's be honest. And I'm not going to make an excuse for a pit crew member when you're at that level and you're in the Cup Series on a high caliber team such as Joe Gibbs Racing. You can't afford to make mistakes as going the wrong way on a wedge wrench. Just something you can't do. However, I do feel that we are starting to see that meltdown point occur with Kyle Busch. And I posted a poll on my Google Plus account this weekend. Anybody that's part of this group here that follows me there, if you haven't taken the poll, I highly request that you do. Ultimately, it was how many races would we have until you see Kyle Busch have his ultimate infamous meltdown period. And they ranged anywhere from 1 to 5 races, or that it happened on the flight home. And most people say that it already happened on the flight home from California. Now, in all honesty, that was just poking a little bit of fun. I think that you've got a 2 to 3 race window before Kyle Busch finally hits his breaking point and, has one of those infamous Kyle Busch moments that I'll have a whole lot of fun talking about here on the channel once it happens. A lot of good things happened on the West Coast swing. Kevin Harvick may be the king of the West Coast. 2 out of 3 races definitely is a good run, but he was not the king in California. Martin Truex Jr. dethrones Kevin Harvick. I think reasserts his position as saying that I am the defending champion for the Monster Energy Cup Series, and I'm here to challenge for another championship. And I'm really excited about going back east and going to Martinsville this weekend. We'll talk about that in the race prediction for Martinsville, which we'll have up a little later in the week. So now I've had my say about things. Now it's always time for you guys to have yours. Please, by all means, let me know once again what you thought were good things in the race, what you had wished you would have seen, what could have been better. Until we get to Martinsville, my name is Brandon, and I'll see you next time.